Discover how just 5 simple gait adjustments can help thousands of seniors avoid falls and return to a fulfilling life. Every 11 seconds, an older adult is treated in an emergency room for a fall, a sobering reminder of the fragility of health in old age. But what if there was a way to significantly reduce this risk? Imagine being able to walk with confidence without fearing every step, knowing that you are in control of your body and movements. Thousands of older adults have already experienced the benefits of these methods, changing their lives for the better. Intrigued? These tricks are surprisingly easy to learn and could be the key to your safety and independence. Meet Evelyn, a 72-year-old widow from Ohio. Like many seniors, she faced paralyzing fear after 2 painful falls, one in her kitchen and another on her driveway. These incidents not only caused physical pain, but also undermined her self-confidence. She stopped going for walks, avoided stairs, and even feared leaving her house. Her world began to shrink, confined to the walls of her home. However, Evelyn refused to let fear take over. By discovering these 5 simple yet effective walking tricks, she was able to turn things around. In just a few weeks, she not only returned to an active life, but also walked confidently, without constantly worrying about falling. Her strength and balance were restored, and she felt in control of her life again. Evelyn's story is a shining example of how simple changes can lead to big results. If she could do it, so can you. The first secret to safe walking is to constantly scan the space 4 steps ahead. Very often, falls are caused by inattention to the surroundings. It's easy to get caught up in looking at your own feet or being distracted by what's happening around you, failing to notice hidden dangers, be it a treacherous stone, an uneven patch of sidewalk, or a carelessly discarded garden hose. However, by overlooking potential obstacles, a person deprives themselves of the opportunity to avoid trouble. This is where the technique of scanning the space 4 steps ahead comes in. Instead of looking directly at your feet or staring into the distance, it is recommended to train yourself to focus on the area approximately 4 steps ahead. This simple trick can have a significant impact on the safety of movement. So what is the secret to the effectiveness of this method? Scanning the space in advance allows the brain to process information about surrounding obstacles in time and prepare for them. This provides extra time to adjust the position of the feet, change the direction of movement, or adapt to an uneven surface. Consider the example of Evelyn, who loves spending time in her garden. Unfortunately, the garden paths posed a certain danger to her due to the presence of hoses, uneven steps, and low-hanging branches. Before Evelyn learned about the 4-step scanning technique, she often found herself in dangerous situations, tripping over hoses or spraining her ankle after stepping on an uneven stone. However, once Evelyn started practicing scanning the space, her life changed. Walking along the path, she carefully examined the ground surface at a distance of about 4 steps ahead, which allowed her to easily avoid potential dangers, such as the ubiquitous garden hose, seemingly appearing out of nowhere. Evelyn's confidence in herself increased, and she was able to enjoy her garden again without constantly fearing falling. She seemed to have discovered a new way of moving that made her more attentive and in control of the situation. Often, people do not attach importance to such an elementary detail as the direction of gaze when walking. However, it is this minor nuance that can protect against annoying falls and injuries. The next time you go for a walk, you should consciously practice the skill of scanning the space ahead. It is recommended to concentrate on the ground surface approximately 4 steps in front of you, allowing the brain to automatically assess the situation and ensure safe movement. This method is effective both outdoors and indoors. If a person has a habit of excessively focusing on their own feet or on the ground directly under their feet, it is time to get rid of this tendency. The point is to shift the focus of your gaze and move to a proactive approach to the walking process. Start small, trying to apply this method while walking down the street or even in a safe, controlled environment indoors. At first, it may feel like you are looking around more often than usual. However, with practice, this skill will become more natural and relaxed. I'm sure everyone has stumbled over an obstacle they didn't see in time, whether it's a crack in the sidewalk or an unexpected step. It would be interesting to hear stories about similar dangerous situations in the comments. Discussing these incidents will help develop collective strategies for increasing attentiveness and safety while walking. This is just the first of 5 simple walking techniques that can significantly reduce the likelihood of falls and restore lost independence. Stay tuned, because the next tip amazed Evelyn herself and had a tremendous impact on her confidence while walking. You simply won't want to miss it. The second secret is to focus on rolling your foot from heel to toe with each step. You've probably noticed yourself shuffling your feet, especially when you're tired or nervous. This is a natural reaction for many people, but it can significantly increase the risk of falls. Shuffling or walking flat-footed means that the leg muscles aren't being used properly, which increases the likelihood of tripping, slipping, and as a result, falling. This is where the heel-to-toe roll can play a crucial role. Instead of walking flat-footed or dragging your feet, focus on rolling your foot from heel to toe with each step. This seemingly minor shift in walking technique not only improves balance, but also more effectively activates the muscles in your legs and feet, making movements more stable and controlled. When she first encountered this technique, Evelyn met it with a good deal of skepticism. At first, it all seemed unnatural and awkward. After all, she had decades of flat-footed, shuffling walking behind her, especially when she was tired. But curiosity and hope prevailed, and she decided to give it a try. The first steps were not easy. Her body, accustomed to shuffling, protested against the heel-to-toe movement, which seemed completely foreign. However, to her surprise, Evelyn felt a change after just a few days. Her gait became more confident, and her balance improved noticeably. The feeling of constantly balancing on the verge of falling, which had haunted her before, disappeared. What was the secret of this transformation? The heel-to-toe movement engages the natural arches of the foot, like activating a whole shock-absorbing system. The calf muscles, thighs, and even core muscles are activated, creating a solid and reliable framework for movement. When the entire foot is involved in walking, the body is in a more stable position, which significantly reduces the risk of tripping or losing balance. The key here is not to rush and to make changes to your gait gradually. Start with slow practice, carefully tracking each movement of your foot. Imagine that your foot is not a flat surface, but a smoothly transitioning ramp from heel to toe. Thanks to constant training, Evelyn felt a noticeable difference after just a couple of weeks. Her steps became smoother and more graceful, her posture straightened, and most importantly, she felt confident and in control of her body. Walks stopped being a tiring ordeal and became a source of energy and pleasure. It wasn't just about avoiding falls, but about feeling stronger, more confident, and more alive. A practical way to improve walking skills is to focus on each step, shifting your weight from heel to toe. It is recommended to slow down and consciously control each movement. Even short, 5-minute daily workouts can significantly improve your sense of balance and confidence while walking. The benefits of this approach are not limited to improved balance. This practice helps to increase endurance by using muscle power more effectively. As a result, you will feel less tired and experience a greater surge of energy during walks. Over time, you may notice that your gait becomes straighter and lighter, and the risk of tripping on uneven surfaces decreases. It's interesting to observe how your legs move when you walk. Do you tend to shuffle your feet, or do you lift them high? It will be helpful to analyze your own walking habits and try the proposed heel-to-toe technique. Another helpful tip is to stop periodically to regain your balance. While walking, it's easy to get caught up in the rhythm and keep moving forward, especially when you need to get from one place to another. However, This continuous movement can lead to instability, especially on uneven terrain or when you're tired. It is recommended to take a short break every 20 steps. Stop, place your feet shoulder-width apart, and hold your balance for 10 seconds. At first glance, this exercise seems simple, but it effectively trains inner stability and restores awareness of the body's position in space. This technique is especially useful when walking on uneven surfaces, when your legs are tired, or when you need to maintain balance during long walks. Pausing movement and concentrating on maintaining balance has a beneficial effect on the body, providing it with an opportunity for a kind of reboot. This practice helps activate the muscles of the core and lower extremities, engaging them in a different mode than during monotonous walking. Stimulation of muscle fibers with short but intense impulses helps strengthen the deep connection between the body, stability, and control over movements. Such conscious pauses allow you to restore a sense of posture and balance, which often escapes during continuous movement. For Evelyn, who experienced anxiety when walking on uneven paths and stumbled over minor obstacles, this method became a real revelation. The woman, accustomed to a fast pace of walking, introduced 10-second balancing pauses every 20 steps into her practice. The first noticeable change was an increase in awareness of the surrounding environment. Stopping and balancing helped her feel more in control of her movements. Instead of rushing and stumbling over bumps, she could take a moment to adjust her posture, adjust the position of her feet, and readjust her body. Evelyn's second important observation was a significant increase in self-confidence. Pauses proved useful not only for restoring physical balance, but also for gaining mental clarity. Each stop and reorientation gave her a sense of inner composure and confidence. The walk ceased to be just a mechanical movement. Instead, it turned into a conscious participation in every step, with attention to body sensations and control over its movements. Regaining balance is especially important for older people because over the years the feeling of confidence in movements can weaken. Over time, the body no longer reacts so quickly to external factors, and the risk of losing balance increases. Special pauses when walking serve as a kind of reboot, helping to stay stable and confident throughout the walk. How to perform this exercise correctly? First of all, you need to set a certain rhythm. While walking, you need to take about 20 steps and then stop completely. It is important that the legs are shoulder-width apart, the back remains straight, and the body weight is evenly distributed. The next step is to activate the core muscles. A slight tension in the abdominal muscles helps stabilize the body and more effectively engage the muscles of the lower body. Maintaining balance is a key moment in the exercise. You need to stand calmly, focusing on your breathing, and hold this position for 10 seconds. If you feel unsteady, gently adjust your body position until you regain your sense of balance. A simple way to improve balance is offered, requiring only a little effort. The essence of the method is to repeat the usual step 20 times, followed by a short 10-second pause to maintain balance. The effectiveness of this exercise is explained by the development of muscle memory, which is responsible for balance. Regular training allows the body to more confidently maintain stability in various situations, and this process occurs almost automatically. One of the main advantages of this technique is its accessibility. No special equipment is required to perform it, and you can do it almost anywhere and at any time. It is recommended to try this method during the next walk and evaluate the results. It will be interesting to learn about the experience of readers who have already practiced similar exercises. Another important aspect of proper walking is natural arm swinging. Many focus exclusively on the work of the legs, missing out on the significant role of the arms in maintaining balance and stability. Arm movements, especially with age, are often underestimated, but they can significantly improve walking technique. The role of arm movement in maintaining balance and coordination is invaluable. Anyone who has tried to walk with clenched and tense arms has undoubtedly felt discomfort and loss of balance. Limited arm movement restricts the body, preventing smooth and natural movement. This disrupts the natural rhythm, which can lead to loss of balance. Free and natural swinging of the arms while walking gives momentum to each step, making it easier and more controlled. This simple, seemingly gesture helps relieve tension in the upper body and improve posture. When the arms swing gently in opposition to the legs, the upper body remains toned, which promotes better coordination. Between the upper and lower body. This coordination plays a key role in preventing falls and maintaining smooth movements. Evelyn, for example, initially felt awkward when she started practicing arm swings. She was used to keeping them still, pressed against her sides, believing it gave her more control. Her first attempts to swing her arms made her feel awkward and even made her think it looked silly. How do you learn to swing your arms naturally? First of all, you need to relax your shoulders. Tension in the upper body can transfer to the legs, making walking difficult. Then, let your arms swing in opposition to your legs. When the left leg moves forward, the right arm should move forward, and vice versa. This natural coordination between the arms and legs helps maintain body balance, providing stability when walking. When walking, you should strive for smooth and natural arm movements, avoiding excessive amplitude and tension. It is important that the arms move effortlessly, in harmony with the rhythm of the steps. To stabilize the body and prevent unwanted twisting, it is necessary to engage the core. Active work of the core muscles contributes to more controlled and efficient movement. If you have not paid enough attention to arm movement when walking before, it is recommended to start training with short time intervals, gradually increasing their duration as you get used to it. For example, you can start with 5 to 10 minutes of focused work on arm movement during a walk, and then gradually increase this time. Natural arm swinging helps prevent stiffness of posture, which is often found in the elderly. With age, people tend to slouch and stiffen, which can lead to back pain, discomfort, and even falls. Natural arm movement helps maintain correct posture and improve overall smoothness of movement. In addition, swinging your arms while walking creates additional momentum. The movement of the arms in unison with the legs acts as a counterweight, making it easier to move the body forward and reducing the effort expended. This method is especially effective when walking long distances or over uneven terrain. Evelyn was surprised at how significant an impact a small change in her walking technique could have. The arm movement not only improved her posture, but also gave her an unexpected boost of energy and confidence. Instead of perceiving each step as hard work, she felt lightness and smoothness of movements, and the fear of falling gradually disappeared. Have you ever thought about the graceful dance of your arms while walking? The next time you go for a walk, let your arms swing freely in time with your steps and share your feelings in the comments. There is one trick that can significantly increase the safety of your walks: advance route planning. It should be recognized that the environment can be fraught with unexpected dangers. Uneven sidewalks, dim lighting, treacherous cracks in the asphalt, or even unfamiliar terrain can cause annoying falls. But there is a solution that can change the rules of the game. Think about your route in advance to avoid potential risks. Many older people, out of habit, stick to the same walking paths. However, some of these routes may be unsafe, even if it is not obvious at first glance. Whether it's a familiar path near the house with cracked pavement or a poorly lit street where visibility leaves much to be desired, planning smoother and safer routes in advance can play a decisive role in preventing falls and injuries. Evelyn realized the potential dangers of her evening walks and took appropriate measures. The route she knew well was full of defects in the pavement, and the twilight thickened the colors, turning any obstacle into a treacherous trap. Nervousness became her constant companion, and the threat of falling was obsessively haunting her. Why is this happening? Walking in unfamiliar or disadvantaged areas forces a person to be extremely vigilant, turning potential pleasure into continuous stress. The more attention is paid to avoiding all sorts of obstacles, the less remains on the walking process itself. This increased anxiety constrains the body, making a person more vulnerable to accidents. How to secure your routes in advance. First of all, it is necessary to conduct a thorough audit of existing walking paths. It is important to identify all potential risks on familiar routes: cracks in the asphalt, uneven pavement, insufficient lighting. You should also pay attention to places where you feel discomfort or danger. Then you should start looking for alternative options. Perhaps there are parks, school stadiums, or quiet streets with smooth pavement and sufficient lighting in the neighborhood. These small changes can significantly reduce the risk of falls. Make it a beneficial habit. Once safer routes are identified, they should be integrated into your daily routine. If a person is accustomed to walking at a specific time of day, they should try to stick to that schedule, but on the new, safer route. Instead of embarking on long, risky walks, it's worth focusing on short but safe routes. Even a short walk in safe conditions can be more beneficial than a long journey through potentially dangerous terrain. For example, just 15 minutes of walking on a flat and safe road will be much more effective than a 30-minute walk on a bumpy surface. Initially, Evelyn didn't realize how much the environment affected her confidence and sense of security while walking. However, after realizing the importance of pre-planning the route, she made adjustments to her walks. The new walks along the school track became a real discovery for her. The smooth and even surface gave her a sense of calm, and the good lighting allowed her to enjoy a free walk without fear of tripping. The anxiety about possible falls gradually disappeared, and she was able to fully concentrate on the walking process rather than constantly scanning the ground for hidden obstacles. This simple change, choosing a well-lit and even surface, had a huge impact on her well-being. She still got the necessary physical activity, but now with much less risk to her health. As a result, her self-confidence increased significantly, and walking once again brought her joy and pleasure. Have you ever had to change your usual route to avoid potential hazards? And what is your favorite safe walking route? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. Today, Evelyn indulges in the joy of daily walks with her walking group, and the changes that have occurred with her are truly amazing. The fear of falling, like a haunting nightmare, has receded into the past. There is no more unsteady staggering when every step became a challenge. Now her movements are characterized by stability and confidence, testifying to the return of control over her own body. These 5 simple but effective changes in walking technique have given her new freedom, and they can create the same miracle for anyone who strives for an active and fulfilling life.